Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings from Probolinggo. Do you know Probolinggo? Where is Probolinggo? It's a small town in East Java, which is very... can you hear my voice? I'm sorry, I cannot hear my voice.
Yes, sir. Your voice
Okay.
is loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a very small town in Probolinggo. And if you go to Bali, you will pass Probolinggo, I'm sure, if you go by bus. Okay, I'm very excited to be here. This is my first experience to be teaching in front of so many people especially from education, vocational school all around Indonesia. How many participants, sir? More than 1,000? Okay, as long as a participant so far is only 150, okay. This afternoon, we are going to talk about one of the competency which is included in the CATC. What is CATC? Let me explain to you what CATC is. CATC stands for Common Asian Tourism Curriculum, which we can say it is a standardized curriculum all across the Asian countries for tourism. And the competency that I choose to present is Converse in English at a basic operational level. Before delivering my material, my name is Prastowo Ismanto and I'm from SMKN 1 Probolinggo, SMKN 1 Probolinggo. I'm an English teacher here. Talking about converse in English or making a conversation in English, it is a very important skill that you have to master if you want to enter the professional world. For example, when you want to find a job or when you want to continue your study abroad, like it or not, you will have to be able to converse in English, to make a conversation in English. And one of the biggest problems so far that Indonesian students are mostly facing is that they have, a kind of difficulties or troubles or problems in speaking in English. Let me tell you my experience. Several years ago when I was teaching Indonesian language in front of some Philippine workers, some workers from the Philippines, he asked me, Mr. Pras, how do students in Indonesia learn English? I was rather confused hearing the question. I didn't know how to answer that. I asked him, why? We learn from elementary school, sometimes in the last year, and then go to junior high school for 3 years, and then go to the senior high school for 3 years. So altogether, it makes 7 years in commonly Indonesian students study English for 6 or 7 years. And he continued, why? Many of them still cannot speak English, although I asked them very simple questions. It is different from Philippines, he said. In Philippines, you can go to the street and you can ask small children there whatever question, and I think they will be able to answer it correctly, he said. I didn't know what to say. That's our problem. So, and that's why, I guess, we are here today. That's what we are here for. learning how to converse in English. So I guess all of you guys should be happy with these opportunities, with these golden opportunities that we can all get to know what is the content, one of the content of CHCC. Okay, getting to the point, talking about the material that I'm going to present. There are 6 elements of competency in conversing in English. For today, if the time is enough or if anything goes as planned, I will explain about the first 3 competencies. I mean, the first 1 to 3 elements of competencies. And then for the second day on Thursday, we are going to discuss the other 3 elements of competencies. Okay, each element of competencies has its certain performance criteria. What is performance criteria? Performance criteria is, what is it? What you have to do, what you have to be able to do, what you have to master by the end of the lesson so that you can be considered competent. Okay, in order to make the assessment, there are several methods that we will conduct in this unit. First, oral questions. So in this assessment, I will probably ask students one by one to practice and to answer my questions. And then written questions for the assignment. The link will be provided to you after this session. And that is what you have to do to be considered eligible if you want to get the certificate from CMEO. So at the end of the lesson, you will get a certificate, and to be able to get the certificate, you have to do some assignments after the session, besides following the session. Okay, and then work projects, it depends on the condition. And then practical exercises, the last is practical exercises. The practical exercises means the participants will be asked to role play the dialogues if necessary. Okay, let's go to the first element of competency. The first element of competency is participate in simple conversations on familiar topics with work colleagues. Participate in simple conversations. It means making simple conversations about familiar topics at work with your co-workers or with your colleagues. And for this element, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 performance criteria. The first performance criteria is you have to be able to use and respond appropriately to opening commands. Okay, that is what we are going to discuss first this afternoon. Use and respond appropriately to opening commands. Why is it important for you to be able to use and respond appropriately to opening commands? Let's imagine you are working in a hotel or a restaurant, and then a friend of yours or a guest, he wants to be nice to you, and then he said, for example, how is the weather usually in Indonesia? And then you cannot answer the question. It will give a certain bad impression to your guests about ourselves, right? So using and responding to opening commands correctly and appropriately is very important if you want to get along well with your daily life and also with your future, especially with your job. Okay, in order to make a conversation, to open a conversation, people use a certain kind of discourse called small talk. Small talk. What is small talk? Small talk in our language is more like basa-basi. Yes, basa-basi. Small talk or basa-basi is a kind of social conversation that you make when you want to, what is it? To get closer to someone or to define the relationship between friends, colleagues, or a new acquaintance. That's it. So small talk usually talk about small things, something which is not very important, but it has a great importance in order to make someone feel accepted, someone feels welcome, warmly welcome, and then you do not reject their presence. That's very important. Okay, the first common small talk that people sometimes use, very often use, are greetings. Greetings in English, I guess you know most of them since you were studying in junior high school, like good morning, how are you? I guess that's very familiar to all students in Indonesia. And then when somebody asks them something but means the same, something other than how are you, our students will not be able to answer. For example, the first one here, how are things coming along? How are things coming along? It is actually the same as how are you? So I guess you as students do not only stop in understanding how are you, but expand your knowledge to many other expressions that we are likely use and that native speakers use. For example, how is life? How is life is often used in informal occasions. Or how are things with you? But in a rather formal occasions, we use something like this. How are things coming along? For example, your boss approaches you and greets you. How are things coming along? You may answer, fantastic. Or maybe, are you busy? Are you busy? Good morning. Good to see you. Okay, Mr. Who is the administrator? Can I ask one student to repeat after me, please? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Can I
You want
ask one student to repeat after me? So
okay.
rather than I continue talking for 2 hours?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
you can put one or two student to answer it.
Okay. Can I
Yes, sir. Could you hear me?
Mr. Prastowo, you can unmute your microphone. Mr. Prastowo, just click on your icon, microphone icon.
Okay.
Add button.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
add button.
Sorry. Can I ask one student to repeat after me, please?
Yes, maybe you can call the name so I can
Okay. What about Ramadanisa? That is one of my students. Ramadanisa, you here?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. Can you repeat after me, please?
Oh, yes.
Okay. How are things coming along?
First,
How are things coming along? Hello? How are things coming along? Ramadanisa? How are things coming along? Okay, let's change to another participant. Who? Maybe Muhammad Rahman?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, Muhammad Rahman. How are things coming along?
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 Yeah, very good. You got that. Are you busy?
Are you busy?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, thank you, Muhammad Rahman. Thank you. Okay, now let's continue to the next topic that we mostly talk about when we open the conversation. And this one is a safe topic, a very safe topic that you can use almost in any occasion, any place, and to any person from anywhere in any parts of the world. It is about the weather. You can always talk about the weather with anyone you have just met. For example, what's the weather like? What's the weather like in your country? What's the weather like in Malang? For example, you have asked him uh, about where he comes from. You ask a person that you have just met where he or she comes from. And then he or she answers, I come from Malang. And you can open the conversation with questions about the weather. For example, what's the weather like? How's the weather today? Or a statement, for example, it is raining very hard, and then you are waiting in a doctor's waiting room, and you are alone, and somebody that you don't know is sitting next to you. Then rather than being silent, you want to open the conversation, and you can talk about the weather. For example, it's pouring, isn't it? Or the weather is very hot. You say, it's very hot today, isn't it? When you are talking about the weather, we can use this construction. This one is normally used. You use the structure question text. It is something like, for example, the weather is hot. And you can say, it's very hot today, isn't it? It's very hot today, isn't it? Or it's raining very hard. You can say it's pouring, or it's raining very hard, isn't it? That's called question text. When this part is in the positive form, then the other part should be in the negative. This part positive and this part is in the negative. Or you want to construct something negative, for example, it's not very fine. Maybe the weather is not very fine. You can say, it's not very fine, is it? And pay attention to the intonation. The intonation is slightly going down at the end of the sentence. For example, it's very hot today, isn't it? It's pouring, isn't it? It's not very fine, is it? But if the tone is rising, then you need his or her confirmation. The meaning is different. When you are making small talks, the tone here is slightly going down. It's very hot today, is it? It's pouring, isn't it? It's not very fine, is it? It is different from, it's very hot today, isn't it? It's pouring, isn't it? Different meaning. Okay. Next, recent activities. You can open the conversation with your friends or with your co-workers, with your classmates about their recent activities. For example, how was your trip? You know that he has just come from a trip to Bali, for example, and then you ask him about his trip to Bali. Hi, how was your trip? Or how was your trip? Or a guest or a customer that you know come from another country by plane and you want to be friendly to him, you can say, you can ask him, did you enjoy the flight? Or maybe you can just ask, did you sleep well last night? Yes, is there a question? Okay, I'll continue if there is no question. Did you enjoy the flight? Actually, it is not a real question. Whatever happened during the flight, during the flight, then the people you ask most certainly answer fine. But when there is a problem, they will add, but there was a big problem when blah, 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 something like that. Okay. Or you can talk about the condition of your job. How did your shift go? For example, you come to your office and then you meet your partner, your co-workers who was working for the previous shift, and then you want to replace him or her. You can ask, hello, how did your shift go? How did your shift go? Is there anything I need to know? Anything new today? That's the several questions that you should ask when you want to open a conversation about your job. Or about the health protocols. I think you can directly address your friend with something like, you should be aware with the health protocols. Okay, and then after the greetings, weather, recent activities, and about the job. You can also talk about the origin of your partner. For example, where are you from? Where do you come from? Pay attention to this. Mostly people make mistakes when they ask these two questions. They interchange one another. For example, where are you come from? No, that's wrong. Or where are you come from? Or where are you, something like that. I often hear people make mistakes in asking this one of these two questions. I usually heard them saying, where are you come from? No, that's not correct. Yeah, it should be, where are you from? Or where do you come from? Or talking about routines, the routines that you have at work or in the office or at school. You can, if you are new to the office and you don't know what time lunch is, and you can ask, what time is lunch? What time do you finish work? How do you go to work? Okay, I will give you one short example about this small talk. I will make a small talk with my coworker, who is also, actually, she should be the moderator this afternoon. But due to some technical problems in our part, then we cannot enter the meeting on time. Busita, can you accompany me practicing this small talk, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I will start the first, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Morning, Busita.
Morning.
Are you busy?
No, I don't have any work today.
Okay, I heard that you just come from Bali. How was your trip?
It was nice. I enjoyed my trip there.
Did you have a nice holiday in Bali?
Sure. I spent my holiday there with my family. It was nice. How
Great.
about you?
I stayed home during the weekends. I didn't go anywhere.
Okay.
Is there anything I need to know today?
Yeah, sure. We will have a meeting at 9.
9 a.m. or p.m.?
Okay. Sorry. I
Sorry,
mean,
a.m. Yeah,
yes.
normally it's 9 a.m. Okay, thank you for reminding me.
My
By the
pleasure.
way, by the way, what time do you finish work, Miss Sita?
About at 4 p.m. today?
Okay, what about having something to eat at a cafe, a new cafe around the park? I heard they serve good food.
Ah, that's good idea.
Okay then, I'll see you at about 4.
Okay. See you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's an example of small talk that is very common in English. To start conversation, there are some suggestions that I would like you to remember. The first is find interesting things to talk about. Observe. It is based on observe. Observe your surrounding. Observe your surrounding. For example, you are sitting at the beach and you want to talk to some foreigners. You can start with talking about the beautiful sunset. For example, it's a beautiful sunset, isn't it? And next, before approaching somebody to talk, relax. Don't get too tense. And then be prepared to listen. Do not dominate the conversation, but sometimes you also have to be listening. To be a good speaker, you need to be a good listener. I heard that in English. And then, this is very important, avoid controversial subjects, complaining or gossiping. Complaining or gossiping, avoid this. For example, talking about politics, and then talking about some gossips about your friend, or complaining about your boss. No, don't do that. I certainly do not recommend this to, to be used to open a conversation. And then the last one, the least but not less important. The last but not least important is that be yourself. Just let it flow naturally. Let the conversation flow naturally. Okay, that's it. Before I continue my presentation, is there any participant who would like to ask a few questions about this material? Admin, hello?
Yes, it should be Miss Sita to ask and help you, Mr.
Okay. Pusita, it's your
Yes.
turn to be a moderator.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pras, for having the interesting presentation today. For next session, we will have question and answer session. For this session, we will have 3 questions from the participants. Please give your questions in the chat box, and then we will read your questions. Maybe anyone have a question, please write in the chat box.
Okay, Busita, we only have 1 more hour left.
Okay.
Around 90 minutes left. So while waiting for the participants to ask some questions, let me continue to the next presentation, yeah?
Okay, yes, please.
Okay. Okay, guys, next I'm going to show you a video about how people make small talk. People usually make small talk in English. Okay, please watch the video, observe it, and then I hope you can learn something from it.
Sorry, Mr. Pras.
Sorry, sir, we cannot hear the voice.
Okay, sorry. I forgot to turn on the voice. Okay. Wait. Can you hear it?
It's very hot today, isn't it?
Excuse me, can you hear it now?
Yes, that's
Okay.
so clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's so hot. It looks like summer is officially starting.
I'll have to remember to buy some sunblock then. My name is John, by the way.
I'm Yumi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Are you from around here?
No, I'm from Hokkaido in Japan. It's much colder than here, even in summer. What's the weather like in your hometown at this time of year?
I'm from London. It rains a lot there, so I'm not used to these summer temperatures.
Oh, really? I like summer because we can go and spend time at the beach. I take my dog every time. He loves to run into the sea. What do you normally do in the summer in London?
If it's sunny, we often meet up and have picnics in the park. London has some really nice parks. Have you ever been there?
I've never been there, but I've always wanted to visit the museums. What do people do in their free time there?
People often go to watch football games at the weekend. Everyone is very passionate about their favorite team.
That sounds like baseball in Japan. It's super popular.
Okay, guys, that's the video. What can you make of the video? Do you think the two persons know each other before the conversation? No, of course not. They don't know each other, and they come from different countries, right? They are most probably tourists who are enjoying their vacation and then meet with each other and then wants to have a small talk. Okay, let's repeat the video, and let's pay attention to what they say.
It's very hot today, isn't it?
Okay, you see, the first person, the man, opened the conversation using a comment about the weather, right? He said, "It's very hot today, isn't it?" And then the woman replies,
Yes, it's so hot. It looks like summer is officially starting.
I'll have to remember to buy some sunblock then. My name is John, by the way.
I'm Yumi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
okay, from the opening comment, you can move to a rather personal question, but don't be too personal. You can ask about names, but don't ask names directly after you meet someone for the first time. Don't open the conversation with, "What's your name?" Okay?
Are you from around here?
No, I'm from Hokkaido in Japan. It's much colder than
Okay,
here.
now they are talking about their origins, the place of origin, and about the weather. Something interesting about the place of origin.
In Japan. It's much colder than here, even in summer. What's the weather like in your hometown at this time of year?
I'm from London. It rains a lot there, so I'm not used to these summer temperatures.
Oh, really? I like summer because we can go and spend time at the beach. I take my dog every time. He loves to run into the sea. What do you normally do in the summer in London?
If it's sunny, we often meet up and have picnics in the park. London has some really nice parks. Have you ever been there?
I've never been there, but I've always wanted to visit the museums. What do people do in their free time there?
People often go to watch football games at the weekend. Everyone is very passionate about their favorite team.
That sounds like baseball in Japan. It's super popular.
Okay, you can see that in the video. First, the man approaches the woman and make a comment about the weather. And then the conversation flow. He asked about he introduced himself first, and then the woman also says her name. And then the conversation develops into the place of origin and what people in their places like to do in weekends or in their free time as a culture. And then after that, maybe you can talk about favorite sports and something like that. One thing that you have to remember is that foreigners or a certain, a foreign people who comes from other countries like it when we explain about the local wisdoms, the local culture here. They always appreciate it. They always want to know something new about the place that they visit. Okay, there is a dialogue here. Let's do it together, but let's make it fast because we don't have enough time. There are still many things to discuss. Tony is going to a party where he meets a lot of new people. He wants to talk to one of the guests and know more about him or her. Tony said, "Excuse me, I don't think we have met before." I don't think we have met before. This expression is safe to use when you want to get to know someone that you never met before. I don't think we have met before. And then you say your name. My name is blah, blah, blah. And then they will probably reply, how do you do? And also says his or her name. And then you can continue with greetings like, it's nice to meet you. Where do you come from? You can ask about their origins. Okay, and then build the conversation by talking about interesting things. For example, her favorite sports, her favorite food, anything about interesting things. And remember, don't talk about controversial things. Okay, let's skip this dialogue. Let's go to the next performance criteria. Comment on familiar topics. One of the criteria that you have to master in this unit is that you must be able to comment on familiar topics. When you are working in a hotel or a restaurant, there will be situations where your customers will ask you, I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm sorry, where is the toilet? Where is the bathroom? Or where is the, for example, where is the office or something like that? Okay. In order to respond appropriately to such commands, you have to understand what expressions that are very commonly used in English when we are asking for direction. One of the very few examples here is, where is blah, blah, blah? For example, where is the toilet? Where is the bathroom? Where is the sink? Sink is the place to wash our hands. Or the guest wants to come to, for example, a souvenir shop. Then he or she might ask you, how do I get to the souvenir shop? Or next, can you tell me where the blah, blah, blah is? Can you tell me where the bathroom is? Or maybe I'm looking for the bathroom. Okay, when they ask you these questions, you must give directions. You must show the way how to get to their intended places. For example, go straight ahead, or walk straight ahead. And then if it is on the second floor or third floor or fourth floor, you can suggest take the lift or take the stairs. And then turn left or turn right. It's on your left or right. Or it's on the second floor. So let's imagine somebody comes to you asking where the office teacher for the office for the teachers is. For example, where's the teacher's office, or how do I get to the teacher's office? You can give direction. For example, walk along the corridors, and then near the bathroom, turn left, walk about 50 meters. It is on your left, next to the stairs, for example. Okay, in order to master this competency, you are advised to know a very common preposition of place and direction. For example, in, on, or next to, or opposite, or into, or out of, along, past, at the corner, on the corner, or in the corner, at the bottom of, at the top of, in front of, or behind. You must be familiar with this preposition of place. Okay, before explaining this, let me show you a video about preposition of place. If you are interested in the video, you can search for it in YouTube with this address. It will help you understanding the common prepositions of place and movement in English.
Welcome to Kids Pages. Let's learn about prepositions through conversation.
Where's the car?
The car is in front of the garage. Now the car is in the garage.
Where is the basketball net?
The basketball net is above the garage.
Where is the garage?
The garage is below the basketball net.
Where is the fence?
The fence is behind the house.
Where is the barbecue?
The barbecue is between the house and the swing.
Where is the swing?
The swing is next to the barbecue.
Where is the little girl?
The little girl is on the swing. Look, a pigeon is flying over the house toward the swing.
Where is the pigeon?
The pigeon is on top of the swing.
Where is the cat?
The cat is under the swing.
Where is the little boy?
The little boy is near the little girl.
Where is the little girl's mother?
She's on the driveway. She is far from the little girl. Look, the pigeon is flying away from the swing.
What is the pigeon doing now?
It is flying around the house.
Where is the pigeon?
It is sitting among the flowers. Now it is flying past the house.
Look, the cat is running along the yard. And into the garage. The cat is coming out of the garage. The cat jumped onto the swing. Now jumped off the swing. And over the bushes. It is running up the stairs. And down the stairs. Now it's passing through the tunnel.
The kids are running across the lawn. Prepositions of place: above, below, on, under, in front of, behind, next to, in, between, among, near, far from. Prepositions of movement: under, over, onto, off, away from, toward, past, through, up, down, out of, into, along, across, around. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and give us a like. Thank you.
Okay, that's a video about prepositions of place and movement. You can search for it in YouTube. I guess it's very useful in helping you to understand the prepositions of place and movement. And one more thing. When you are in a daily situation or work situation, I believe that you will meet someone who is complaining about something. For example, about the service at your place, if you are working in a restaurant or a hotel, then how to handle complaints. Although handling complaints will be discussed in other competencies, but let me outline to you a very simple and basic but effective strategy in handling complaints. First, you have to apologize. I'm sorry, sir, or I'm sorry, madam. And next, attempt to solve the problem. Try to solve the problem. Try to give solution. Okay, I will look into it immediately. I will check it immediately, sir. And then, if you cannot handle the problem by yourself, you can alert your supervisor. Just 1 minute, please. I will tell or I will alert my supervisor. So, when somebody is complaining about the service at your office, at your hotel or restaurant, then you can say, you can use this simple strategy. First, apologizing, and then second, trying to solve the problem. And then the third, if you cannot handle it alone, tell your supervisor. So, remember, I'm sorry, madam, or I'm sorry, sir. I will check it immediately. I will repair it. I will try to fix it, for example. But if you cannot handle the problem, you can say, just 1 minute, please. I will alert my supervisor, or I will alert the technician if necessary. Okay, that's it. And then let's go on to the next slide. Here, there is an exercise, but I hope you will do it as an assignment after this meeting. The link will be provided in the chat section. Make sure you do it. Do all the assignment in order to be eligible for your certificate. Okay. There is a dialogue here. Jane is at a department store. You have to complete the dialogue. Busita, can I have 1 or 2 participants to role play this dialogue, please?
Okay, sure. For all participants?
Two of them.
Oh, okay.
Maybe from the other SMK, the other school.
Okay.
Another school maybe.
May
Other
I?
school.
Yes, sure. Safina?
Yeah.
Safina.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, glad.
One
Safina,
more?
where are you from?
Me. I'm from 27 Vocational High School.
Where is it?
SMK 27.
Yeah, where is it?
Pasar Baru.
I'm in Probolinggo, and we only have 4 SMK here.
I'm from Jakarta.
Oh,
I see.
glad to hear that. Hello, Jakarta. How is the weather like in Jakarta now?
The weather is change. It's sometimes rainy, sometimes summer, I think.
Yeah. You mean hot?
Yeah, hot. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. But I hope the flood will not happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it happening already? Flood. Flood.
I don't know what's the meaning of that.
Flood. Okay, let me write it.
Oh, banjir.
Yes, banjir. You got it. Good.
In some cities, maybe.
Some part of the city, you mean?
Happen, yeah.
Oh, in some part of the city, banjir, yeah? Flood.
Yes.
Sad to hear that. Glad to hear that. But I hope you are okay there.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
we
so
have Safina, and then
we have
the
Safina,
partner.
and we need one more participant.
Me,
Yeah,
please.
Who is that?
Okay, Yossi Elisa.
Yossi Elisa. Where are you from?
Please turn your camera.
Yossi Elisa, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, Yossi Elisa.
Yossi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So Safina will be Jane, and attendant will be Yossi.
Okay, can I start now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Excuse me, where can I get a swimming suit, please?
Yossi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now it's your turn, Yossi.
Yeah, it's your part. Swimming suit?
A swimming suit, you can get it in the sport department.
Good. And?
Where is the sport department is?
Very good. Where is the sport department?
It is in the basement.
Good.
Can you?
Okay. To ask this, remember this. I will show you.
Alright.
Sorry. This, Safina, you can use one of these.
Okay.
How do I get to blah, blah, blah?
I get to
How do I get to?
the basement. Please.
Good. Okay, so, Yossi, the stairs?
The stairs are over there in the corner.
Okay, good. Now let's repeat from the beginning. Great. You are doing great, guys. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. You are making progress. Okay, starting from Safina again. Excuse me.
Excuse me, where can I get a swimming suit, please?
Oh, sorry. Let me interrupt you. To pronounce this,
Yeah.
it is actually not sweet, yeah.
Suit.
Yes. And also this, many people pronounce these two words wrongly. They say fruit. No, it should be one syllable. Seharusnya hanya satu suku kata. Fruit. Fruit.
Alright.
This suit.
Suit.
Nah, kalau sweet baru ini.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm speaking Indonesian. That is suite, or a kind of room in a hotel. So this one is suit.
Okay.
Suit. Sorry. Yeah, excuse me.
Excuse me, where can I get a swimming suit, please?
Good. A swimming suit?
A swimming suit, you can get it in the sport department.
Yeah, the intonation should be rising. A swimming suit, naik ya nadanya. Yosi.
Yes,
a swimming
sir.
suit?
A swimming suit,
Very good. You can get it in the sports department.
you can get it in the sports department.
Very good. And
where's the sport department?
good.
It is in the basement.
How do I get to the basement, please?
Very good.
The stairs are over there in the corner.
Yeah, very good. Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck with your English, yeah?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sorry, Yosi and Safina, could you please turn on your camera?
I cannot. I'm too shy.
Okay.
Good luck with your English, Safina.
Thank you, sir.
Which part of Jakarta are you from?
I'm from the Central Jakarta.
Central Jakarta. Okay. And the other one is Yosi, yeah? Sorry,
Yes, sir.
Yosi, where are you from?
I'm from Vocational High School number 2 Batam.
Oh, Batam. Hello, Batam. How are you? Greetings from
Hello.
Probolinggo.
We are fine.
Yeah, it's a very long way from Probolinggo, yeah?
Yes, sir.
This is the first time I speak with someone directly from Batam.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. How is the weather like in Batam now?
It is summer in here, sir.
We don't have summer in Indonesia.
I think
We only have wet season and dry season.
I think it's dry season.
Oh, really? Are you sure?
Yes.
Kemarau.
Yes, sir.
Ah, I cannot believe what I heard. Here,
in Batam, the weather is wet on January, sir.
oh, I see.
Yes.
Now in Java, we have a lot of rains. Flood, banjir, is happening everywhere, almost everywhere.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, okay, then let's go to the, yeah, thank you, Yosi. Good luck with your English, yeah?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now let's go to the next dialogue. Now we are at a train station. There is a passenger talking to a porter. Porter is someone whose job is helping passengers with their bags and luggage. Okay, Busita, I need 2 more students, please.
Okay.
Can I?
Can I, please?
Luis, do you want to
Yeah.
try?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And we need one more student. Maybe
May I, ma'am?
Who is the first
Okay.
one, Bu?
The first one is Luis, and the second one is Yusuf Amrel. Are you there?
Yeah, okay. Luis. Luis, let me talk to Luis first. Where are you from, Luis?
I'm from Pontianak.
Pontianak.
Yes.
Okay, what is the weather like now in Pontianak?
It's gloomy right now.
Gloomy.
Yes.
Cloudy, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. No sun? The same. The same here in Probolinggo.
Oh.
Gloomy and windy here.
Yes. In here too.
Yeah. Which vocational school do you study?
Vocational High School 5.
5. It is in tourism?
Yes.
And what department do you major?
Culinary.
Culinary. So I hope someday you can open a food business.
Thank you.
And I'm sure mastering English will help you a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, great. Now the other one, Busita, who is that?
Okay, so here Yusuf Amrel.
Yusuf Amrel from... Hello, Yusuf Amrel.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Jangan sir. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good.
Sorry, I got it.
It's okay. Yusuf Amrel, where are you?
I'm at home.
Which city? Where are you from?
Oh, you mean, okay. I'm from Jakarta.
Jakarta. Very good answer. I asked you, where are you? And then you say, I'm at home. Yeah. The question should be, where are you from?
Yeah.
So you're from Jakarta. Which vocational
Yes,
school?
I'm from Jakarta. Same with Safina, 27 Vocational High School.
Same as.
Yes, same as. Sorry.
Yeah, many people say it wrongly. Same with katanya. They are influenced by the Indonesian language. Sama dengan. Actually, it is not same with, but same as. Same as. Sorry, Safina. Yeah.
Yes, Safina, sir.
Okay. So, what department do you major?
Hospitality, sir.
Hospitality.
Yes.
Hospitality, gitu ya. So the stress is on the third syllable. The penekanannya is on the third syllable. Hospitality. Can you repeat?
Hospitality.
Yeah, very good. Okay, now let's go on with the dialogue.
I'll go first, right,
okay.
sir?
Yep.
Is this Argopuro train?
No, sir. You're on the wrong platform.
And where is the right platform for Argopuro?
Over there, you can go to the platform number 3.
Good.
And do I have to change?
No, it's a direct train to Probolinggo.
Okay, good, great. You are doing great. Good job, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you, sir.
Is this Argopuro train? Argopuro is the name of a train in East Java.
Java.
Yeah, and Argopuro is the name of a mountain in the eastern part of Java. It is in Banyuwangi, Jember, until Probolinggo, a very long stretch of mountain, Argopuro. Okay. No, sir, you are on the wrong platform. And where is the right platform for Argopuro? Said, kata siapa tadi? Sorry, the name, Busita? Who's the name of the first?
I'm Luis, sir.
Oh yeah, sorry, Luis.
Luis.
Yes.
Yeah, Luis was correct to say, and where is the right platform for Argopuro? And then Yusuf also give correct answer. He said, it is over there. You can go to platform number 3. It is over there. And do I have to change? No, it's a direct train to Probolinggo. Direct. It is British. American people say direct. It's a direct train to Probolinggo. So just for your knowledge, just to know, direct is British and direct is American. Okay, guys, you are doing great. Thank you. I'm glad to see so much, what is it? Enthusiasm from the participant. Okay. Now let's go to the next performance, still in the same performance criteria, comment on familiar topics. Now you will learn how to give advice. How to give advice. If you want to study more about how to give advice, you can visit my blog here. It is mrguru.web.id. Just search on Google Mr. Guru. I have the explanation about advice here. Okay, when you want to give advice, you can use the following structures. For example, can you give me some advice about blah, blah, blah? For example, you want to visit a place, but you don't know which place to visit. You can say, can you give me some advice about the place to visit? Maybe my answer will be, you should go to Bromo. Or in a restaurant, maybe you don't know what food is special there, and then you ask the waiter, what do you recommend? What do you recommend? Then you say, what is your food specialty? What is special about your restaurant? For example, we have blah, blah, blah. We have fried chicken or grilled fish and etc. Or maybe you can use the following structure. Do you have any idea about how I can blah, blah, blah? For example, do you have any idea about how I can spend the weekend? How I can spend the morning, for example? Or do you have recommendations about the place to visit? Okay. Or to your friends, maybe when you want your friend to give you advice, maybe you can say, what should I do? I have a problem. I have a problem with blah, 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 blah. What should I do? Or maybe it is a negative advice. Maybe you know that your friend is going to do something which you don't think is very good. Then you can say, no, you shouldn't do that. And if you hear this, your response should be giving advice. For example, this, you should go there for dinner. You should go there for dinner. You should go to Bromo. You should visit the park. You should walk along the Malioboro Street, for example. Or, he ought to come here today. Ought to. He ought to come here today. Or, you had better call the doctor. You had better call the doctor. Usually, the pronunciation of had is combined with you. You'd better call the doctor. He'd better go to the doctor today. Or he'd better go to the doctor today. Or maybe you can use need to. You need to inform the agency. You need to inform the agency. Or maybe you can use let's. Let's go to the beach. Let's go to Gili Island. Let's go to Bromo for the weekend. Or maybe you can use why don't you?
Kelihatan pulau ngendok.
Why don't you? Why don't you? For example, you give advice. You want to give advice to a tourist to go to Bromo, for example. You can say, why don't you go to Bromo? Remember, this is not a question, but it is a suggestion. So if you hear somebody say, why don't you go to the doctor? Do not answer because blah, 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 blah. No, because it is actually not a question. It is actually a suggestion. Okay, you can use this structure. What about blah, blah, blah? Or how about blah, blah, blah? What about a walk on the beach? How about going to the park? After what about, you must include a noun. It is different from here. Here, after the modal, should, ought to, had better, need to, it is always followed by the basic form of the verb. Verb 1, go. But here, going. Please pay attention to this. So when you want to use should, had better, ought to, make sure you use the basic form of the verb. Go, come, study, do, eat, etc. But if you use this structure, what about or how about, remember, after what about or how about, you must include a noun, kata benda. You can change a verb into a noun by adding ing. How about swimming? What about walking on the beach? How about visiting Bromo, for example? Okay. Now, let's learn more about giving an advice from this video. Bu Sita?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Can we ask 2 students to role play the dialogue?
Okay. Okay,
Miss,
so...
can I try it?
Okay, hi, Rai Gangga.
Hi.
Okay.
Rai Gangga.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we need one more student. Febri
Can
Sofian,
I try?
right?
Oh, can I try?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so sir, we have Rai Gangga and Febri Sofian. Can you please
Okay.
turn on your camera?
Okay, can you please make a little introduction about yourself, Rai Gangga, and Rai Gangga first.
Okay, good.
Rai Gangga, can you please make a little introduction about yourself, your name, your school, and your place, your city, or your town?
All right. Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. My name is
Hi.
Gangga. A student from Vocational High School, number 1, south of Kuta. So I
Kuta.
live in Bali and I raised in Bali. Yep, that's all I think I can introduce to you all.
Balinese, yeah? Balinese.
Yes.
Kuta.
Balinese.
Yeah. Rai Gangga, how is the weather now in Bali?
It's cloudy, windy, gloomy.
The same here.
What's season in Bali now, sir?
Yeah. Sorry, you study in what vocational high school?
Vocational high school number 1 instead
Number
of
1.
2000.
And you are
Yeah.
majoring at
Hospitality.
hospitality.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Great. Good luck with your English, Raiganga.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And then Febri Sofyan.
Okay. Hi, Mister.
Hi. Yeah.
Wait. What should I?
Introduce yourself. A little introduction about yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Febri, and I student from SMKN 2 Tulungagung.
SMKN 2 Tulungagung, ya?
But no. SMKN 2 Boyolangu.
Oh, I see. Boyolangu.
Yes.
Boyolangu, okay. Greetings from Probolinggo, Febri. Greetings from Probolinggo.
No.
No, I mean, hello from Probolinggo. Yeah, okay.
Oh my God.
Now,
sorry.
No, it's okay. Febri Sofyan, you are doing great. Now, yes. Please role play the dialogue. I will play the video once again from the beginning. Pay attention to what the speakers are saying, and then you and Raiganga in the end will role play the video, okay?
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Raiganga. I repeat from here.
Okay. John, it looks like you never focused in the class and fall asleep these days.
Good. Very good.
Have any problems?
Do you have any problems?
Yeah. This is Febri Sofyan's turn. Yeah. Do you have any problems?
Do you have any problems?
Good.
What time did you go to bed last night?
Yeah, okay. Sorry. It's too fast. Once again.
Let's
from the beginning
role play.
again.
So I will be the teacher, right?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
John, it looks like you never... Oh.
Sorry, Raiganga. Yeah. Please, John.
It looks like you never focus in the class.
Okay.
And fall asleep these days.
Yeah.
Do you have any problems?
Okay, now Febri Sofyan's turn. Febri?
Wait. I can
I'm sorry.
read the dialogue.
Yeah, itu. There, on the screen. I'm
sorry, teacher.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry, teacher.
Yep. Okay, Febri Sofyan. Now, Raiganga.
What time did you go to bed last night?
Very good. Febri.
At midnight. 12 at
12.
midnight.
12.
12 at midnight.
12, yeah, great, okay.
Oh no,
Raiganga?
what were you doing?
Great.
Oh no, what were you doing?
Yeah, very good. Febri?
Thank you.
I was playing a computer game.
Computer.
Computer. I was
Yeah.
playing
Computer.
a computer game.
Yes. When you say pew, your mouth
Pew.
will have to, what is it?
Computer.
Yeah, very good. I was playing a computer game.
I was playing a computer game.
Very good.
Oh, John.
Yeah, very good. Complaining.
Do you play computer game at the late every night? Sorry,
That,
sir. Do you play computer games that late every day?
yeah, very good. Do you play computer games that late every day?
Halo, halo, itu belikan
Febri?
Max.
Almost every day.
Yeah, very good. Almost every day. Febri? Febri?
Time. Wait, what is that?
Time flies.
Time flies when I play computer games.
Very good. Time flies when I play computer game. Febri?
What should I do?
Yeah.
What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
What should I do?
Yeah, very good.
What should?
Wait, this is my
sorry. Sorry.
Try this.
Yeah, very good. Why don't you try this?
Try this. Why don't you try this?
Reganga? First?
Set your game time.
Very good. And then?
And then set the alarm to go off when the time is up.
Yeah. Alarm.
Alarm.
And then set the alarm to go off when the time is up.
All right. And then set the
Alarm.
Alarm.
Yeah, very good.
Set the alarm to go off when the time is up.
Very good. You are doing well.
Thank you.
Febri?
So I set the end time on my alarm clock.
Alarm clock.
Alarm clock.
The stress, penekanan is in la. Alarm.
Alarm.
My alarm clock. Okay.
My alarm clock.
Not alarm, no. Alarm.
Yes. Alarm.
Yeah, very good. So I set the end time.
Thank you.
So?
Wait. So I set the
end
time on my alarm clock.
Yeah, very good. Once again?
Thank you.
I set the end time.
The end time.
Yeah. So I set the end.
So I set the end time on my alarm clock.
Yeah, very good. Febri Sofyan. Febri, when I start
playing the game.
Start. Yeah, start.
When I start playing the game.
Very good. Raiganga.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I think using your watch or phone would be. Oh.
Yeah. I think.
Yes, that's right. I think using your watch or phone will be better.
Yeah. Great. Febri?
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. You don't need
That's
to
a good
break.
idea.
Yeah. You don't need to break here.
Okay.
You can just continue. Good idea. Good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah. Without good idea. That's a good
Good
idea.
idea.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, very good. Right?
Any other hobbies?
Do you have?
Any other hobbies?
Yeah, very good. Besides,
Computer games?
yeah. Sorry. This, Sofyan. Happy Sofyan? Soccer?
Soccer, basketball,
Soccer?
and I like to ride a skateboard.
Yeah, very good. Soccer, basketball.
Soccer, basketball, and I like to ride a skateboard.
Yeah, very good. Soccer,
Thank you.
basketball, and I like to ride a skateboard.
Soccer, basketball, and I like to ride skateboard.
Yeah. Now, Raiganga, yes?
Yes, I heard that you were good at skateboarding.
Okay. Fabri?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay. I can hop. Fabri?
I can hop while skateboarding.
Yeah, okay. Raiganga?
That's awesome. I hope to see changes soon.
Okay. Okay, that's it. So you have just watched a video about how to give advice.
Yes.
The boy has a problem, and then he came to the teacher's office, and then he consulted the problem with his teacher, and then his teacher gave him some advice. Okay, next.
Pak Pras,
Yes.
we have a question from the participants.
One question?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the question, Pusita?
The question is from Priska Aulia. The question is, what if we meet a stranger who looks at our age? Is it okay to talk informally right away? That one is
about age?
Age, yes.
Yeah.
Is it okay to talk informally right away?
Yeah. In my opinion, talking about age is rather too personal. It is not advisable, and I do not recommend you to do that. So avoid asking why. Because in certain cultures, especially for women, they hate questions about age. They don't like questions about age. And what is the importance of knowing somebody's age? Is that important? Not important, right? In order to get in order to get closer to someone, will you have to decide from the age? That's it.
Oh, that is impolite.
some culture may consider it impolite. But for your age, I mean, for if you meet somebody who is around your age, for example, maybe he or she is 2 or 3 years younger or older than you are, maybe maybe people can accept that. But for older people, for them, age is not important. You see, I often watch a video where a YouTuber, Fikinaki, he always asks about age to, what is it? To the person that he's chatting with. You know Fikinaki, right? Fikinaki. He's a YouTuber.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know, I know, I know, I
Yeah,
know.
I know.
He always asks about how old are you? Maybe because he doesn't meet them face to face. Maybe he needs to know what age his partner is. Maybe there is a point in that. But if you meet someone directly face to face, I guess it's not important. I will not do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for
Because,
information.
yeah, it's okay. You're welcome.
Okay, sir, we still have 7 minutes left.
Is there any other question?
Okay.
Time flies, ya Mbak.
Yeah. Time flies because the presentation is very interesting and the participants are very active.
Yeah, very, what is it? Enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic. Okay. No questions. Maybe we can move or come to the...
Okay.
Oh, okay. Maybe we remind the participants about the assessments in the end of the session today.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. For the participants, for the students who are joining this online course, I advise you to check your chat section. There you will find 2 links of the assignment that you have to do for tomorrow or tonight.
Sir, sorry.
Yeah.
We still have 1 question.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. No problem.
This is from Nurul Aulia from SMK 4 Banjarmasin.
Banjarmasin. Nurul Aulia. Can you show the video, Mbak?
Okay, Nurul Aulia.
Can you unmute her?
Nurul Aulia, could you please turn on your camera? Okay. Nurul Aulia. The question, sir.
Yeah. Okay,
I want to ask, is it important to introduce ourselves before start a conversation?
Sorry, can you come again, please? Can you say that again?
Okay. Is it important to introduce ourselves before start a conversation?
Is it important to introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
To
Before
start a
a
conversation?
conversation?
In my personal opinion, very, very unimportant. But if you want to get closer to someone, if you expect that, what is it, maybe you will meet him or her for a rather longer time, I think that's okay. I will tell you my experience. At a time, it was a long time ago, many years ago, I was going on a bus ride from a place in Jawa Timur, in East Java. I was taking a bus from Pandaan to Probolinggo. And then on the bus, I met a foreigner. I sat beside him, next to him, and then we engaged in a very warm conversation. Very, what is it? Very light conversation, but it was enjoyable. We were talking about a lot of things all the way from Pandaan to Probolinggo. And then when I got off the bus, I said goodbye to him and then told him, okay, I have to get up now. I have to get up now. And I hope you enjoy the trip. Take care. And he said, take care. Bye-bye. And then I realized that until then, after that long conversation for more than 1 hour, I still didn't know his name. You can imagine that. So, although we managed to talk about more than 1 hour, all the way from Pandaan to Probolinggo, there was not a single question asking, sorry, what's your name? No, we didn't ask that. Why? Because I think the conversation was only to pass the time during the bus in order not to get bored. And maybe I want to know where he was from and more about the country and the culture of the people in his country. And I'm not interested in knowing his name or whatsoever about his personal identity. That's it. I hope that answers the question. Maybe if we can conclude, so introducing yourself can be considered important, can be considered no. It is depending on the situation, I guess. Okay. But in order to make yourself closer, I think it is better for you to, to introduce yourself. For example, my advice, don't ask directly about someone's name. For example, you want to talk to someone and then you come to him and directly ask, sorry, what's your name? Maybe in Indonesia it is okay, but in Western culture, in several cultures around the world, I guess that seems strange to ask things like that directly. Maybe after several questions about the weather or about the origins, maybe you can ask about his or her name. I hope that answers the question, Busita.
Okay, Nurul Aulia, thank you for the questions.
Yeah. Nurul Aulia, do you have any other question?
No, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi. Hello, Banjarmasin.
Hello, I'm from Banjarmasin.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, I heard about the flood. The flood. Banjir, yeah.
Yes, it was flood in like a lot of region in our province. And
Province,
please
yeah. Okay.
us.
I'm very, very sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
I hope you are okay there.
Yes. Thank you.
Are you also affected by the flood? No?
I'm also affected, but not really worse.
But
not like in our
bad,
region,
yeah.
in Martapura City or Padai. It's worse there. It's like houses like
floating, yeah.
Flood, yes.
The houses was washed away by the water.
Yes. And
yeah.
From my home in Banjarmasin is just like on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the video. I watched the video on the internet, and I felt very, very sad about that. My deepest sympathy to the people in Kalimantan.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your praying. I appreciate it.
Sorry, and what vocational school are you now?
I'm from vocational high school, SMKN Negeri 4 Banjarmasin. My major
and you are
is tourism.
Sorry?
My major is tourism, usaha perjalanan.
Tourism. I see, tourism.
Yes.
Good luck with your study and your English, Nurul.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, next, Busita.
One more question. Is it okay?
It's okay. I guess the last one maybe.
Yes, the last question. Okay, the last question is from Latiful from SMK 1 Probolinggo. I want to ask to Mr. Pras how to have an enjoy conversation. Like every time I talk to people, I don't know if I've talked or asking or giving response too much.
Sorry, can you
Uh,
say the
okay.
question again?
Okay. How to have an enjoy conversation? Because sometimes Latiful think that every time he talk to people, he didn't know if he talk asking or giving response too much in the conversation.
Yeah,
So
okay.
how to have an enjoy conversation?
Yeah, that's a very good question from Latiful. Thank you. How is the weather in Probolinggo, Latiful?
Latiful?
How is the weather in Probolinggo?
Yes, it's cloudy today, sir.
Very cloudy,
And
yeah.
it seems like it's gonna be rain. No.
Yeah, okay. Talking about your question, before answering your question, I suggest you, when you write, don't use wanna, gonna, no.
Yes, sir.
So don't use
Sorry,
that.
sir, sorry.
It's okay, no problem. Don't use that in written English. But it's okay if you want to use that for spoken English. I want to go. It's okay. It sounds very American.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. I want to go. I want to go. That's it. Okay, answering your question. When you have a conversation with someone, especially with a stranger, you have to be sure that the conversation is balanced. Do not dominate the question, the conversation, and then make sure that the conversation will not stop on your side. For example, you must always, find a topic where you can always continue the conversation into something much more interesting, maybe. Just like the video about the small talk in the beginning of the course. Still remember?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The conversation was developing from, from the weather, and then next to
I was
name.
asking for, yes, it seems like I afraid that I will waste her time or like something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a very good question. One tip to start a conversation is that you must be able to see the body language of the partner. Do not speak to anyone which shows the body language with signs that he or she doesn't want to speak with anyone. One of the most common gestures is like this. Do not talk to anyone. Do not talk to anyone who has the body gestures like this. Can you see my gesture?
Yes, sir, I see it.
Okay. So do not talk to anyone who is crossing his hands or her hands like this. Mostly people who has this kind of body language do not want to talk to anyone. And then crossing their legs also.
Okay.
So look at the body language, look at the gestures, whether he or she needs anyone to talk, gets bored, or he has the mood of not wanting to talk to anyone. That's it. I hope that answers the question, Latiful.
Okay, sir, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Pras. Due to limited time, we do apologize that we cannot answer all of the questions given.
Can I say something, Mbak?
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Actually, there are many more things to discuss, right? But time flies. Sorry. In my plan, we were going until the third element, but so far we are discussing until only one element. So, guys, make sure you join again on Thursday. Okay, Busita, you can continue, Busita. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, sir. I just remind you to, I share the assignment for the students for day 1. All the participants can check in the chat box. Okay, and then because time is up, so that's the end of questions and answer session. I do hope all questions have been answered clearly by our speaker, Pak Pras. Thank you to all the participants for actively participate in this session. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of this webinar. But before we close the webinar, I hope we can take the picture together. So please, for all participants, could you please turn on the camera?
Turn on your camera, please, guys.
Yes. Okay, because we have several participants, I would like to take the pictures in some... Okay, wait. Okay. Wait, I need...
Thank you, Pak Pras. You're amazing today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. It is because of the amazing persons around me.
Yes, that's encourage. I hope that's encourage every student attended today to speak English, and then maybe next meeting we can finish the project.
Yeah, I'm sorry if we only can discuss only one element, Mr.
It's okay. It's okay.
We have very limited time.
So, you have a photo session, Busita, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. So get ready for the photo session. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This one is for the first.
Once again, Busita, wave your hand, guys.
Okay.
Sorry, I cannot.
Okay. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. This one is for the third slide.
Somebody is raising his hand. Oh, Luis, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yang tadi.
Okay, and this one is the last
picture?
Yes, the last picture. Okay. Okay, so once again, I would like to thank so much to the speaker, Mr. Prastowo Ismanto, for informative and very interesting presentation, and also for all participants today for very active participation. Thank you so much. Hopefully the webinar will be beneficial for everyone, and see you on Thursday, Pak Pras.
Yeah, okay, see you guys.
See you on
Thank
Thursday.
you for your attention.
Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sir. See you.
Yes, yeah. Nova.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
So the room